I think we have three in our panel this afternoon. We've got Atrul Nisha, if you can come up, Atrul, Ziyaad Hussein, and Tella. So it's just this session before lunch, so we will try to make it enjoyable, but also brief but informative. So this session is about the business of beekeeping. And we're fortunate to have three very qualified and experienced entrepreneurs in beekeeping. So now that we're talking about business, I won't call them beekeepers. I'll call them business women and businessmen. So we have, I think we've had Tella and Mr. Hussein that's already presented. So I'll just introduce Atrul. Atrul is a beekeeper from Taveuni. She manages over 100 plus colonies. She's a beekeeper trainer, a queen bee breeder, and she was also the winner of Fiji's Best Beekeeper Award 2021-2022. I won't spend more of your time introducing Mr. Ziyaad and Tella, so we'll go straight into it. We'll start off with a general question for everyone. Starting from Mr. Hussein, if you could just tell us a bit about your business, what your products are. Maybe start telling us a bit about your brand, what your message is.
Thank you. I actually produce honey, and for producing honey, you have to ensure that you harvest the honey. It should be fully sealed, and while harvesting and also extracting, you have to ensure that when the honey is extracted, it should be covered with the lids so that no moisture content. And also I mentioned yesterday about the filling the bottles. We give some time so that the air bubbles to rise up, and we skim the froth off so that when bottling, we bottle from the bottom, and after bottling, it goes to the shelf. And when customers see the white thing like froth on the bottle, is not look good. So we have to consider that, and also you have to consider the quality. And during last year, I received the Fijian product. Last year, before last year, the minister has mentioned that don't comprise the Fijian brand. So I'm not presenting my product only. So I'm presenting my province and also my country. Thank you.
Thank you. I am doing beekeeping, and at the moment I haven't started with value added. After this congress, I am hoping that I'll be starting with my beekeeping wax products. I am only doing honey as my main source of product. The honey is my labeling is based on the island of Taveuni, and it is Garden Island of Taveuni. So I have a logo that has a Tangimodia flower that officially represents the island. I think that's only product I am doing at the moment.
Thank you. Good morning, all. I'm more into equipment supplies. I registered my company in 2015, and for the last 8 years I've operated. Basically, I'm more into equipment supplies, everything and anything to do with beekeeping. I supply and I need to have them in the country because that's the only place where the beekeepers in the country have access to. So I make sure I have everything in stock. At times, when the exchange rate is very low, I find it hard to have some of the equipments that the farmers need in stock. However, I make sure that all is there. Apart from that, my wife, my other good half, has been involved in honey processing and packaging, and she has her own label. She runs her own business, and I do my own. So it's a family affair, and it's not that bad if all the family can be involved in it to get the business going. Thank you.
Just another thing, I produce, I just do honey, but my husband usually make boxes, so we supply also the bee box and the frames together with it.
Thank you. You've all talked a bit about your brand and a bit about the processing, what your products are like. How about in terms of your market, your customers? How do you go about reaching out to your customers and customer feedback?
I use social media, and also some of my customers. I'm frankly speaking, I'm loyal to my customers, and regarding the quality, I ensure that I provide them with 100% quality products, so that one customer when buys the thing from me, they recommend other customers. From there, we are building a relationship with the customer, and also we should ensure that we have enough supply. So I'm also keeping the record and inventory record, and also my IPERI visit records, so that we have enough supply throughout the year. When customer demands anything, we supply. Thank you.
I usually see that my quality of the honey is reliable to the customer. It is like in Tavuni, there are sometimes beta honey, so every time I have to check that it is not beta, so I don't lose customers. And like when I go to expos, there is expos, or we have women's show or agriculture show, I usually take my honey to promote there. So when customers see that, they know that, oh, I got honey, so they'll just go for the honey. And I also I usually encourage, at the same time I am encouraging other women to go into beekeeping, so that their income generating is also affordable.
I probably was very fortunate to have worked for the government department for the last 38 years, and I had my customer base. So when I went out, there were these customers there. So these were people, beekeepers, potential beekeepers who were looking for equipment, how to start. So when I went out and started my own business, people were there, so they started coming. So that was I have got my customer base, and I supply the equipment to the farmers in the country. Thank you.
Thanks.
For my quality of honey, I have brought a sample to the Congress, and I have some idea that how my quality is, of the quality of the honey is.
I think the next question would probably be directed to Atrul and Hussein. We just had a presentation about beekeeping supplies. What are some challenges that you faced with input suppliers for your beekeeping business, and for any value added that you are thinking of doing? Do you have any challenges or probably any solutions that you'd like to offer in terms of input supply?
Yes, we do. I have challenges like for bottling. There are no company in Tavuni to supply bottles, so we have to get it from mainlands. For labeling, we don't have any printing press. We have to reach out the mainland to get the printing done. And for improving that, we need maybe we have to reach some other companies to be going in through. At sometimes there's companies going around, but they do charge freights and other stuff in that.
Some of the challenges I face, the price of bottles, it keeps on rising, and we asked our suppliers. They said because of the COVID and the freight is high. So what I do to save cost, I buy it in bulk, thousands of bottles, and label for label also. The quality varies because of the sticker they in printing in, and I also to improve on that, I print as much as I can labels, and I put it aside for myself, so that when there is a price change, so it won't affect much on me.
I think there's something that I've faced when talking with beekeepers and with people, small business in general, which is record keeping from the farm level, but also record keeping within your business. Can you tell us how you go about record keeping and give us some tips for people who are like, oh, I know I had to record that and I can't find that receipt, but are there tips that can help with, that you can give us about how to be consistent in record keeping, or how you go about record keeping?
For record keeping, I keep a separate book for my bee yard. Every time I visit my yard, after in the yard and after coming back from beekeeping, I record what are the things needed and what I have done, and also I am considering like for honey production, we have to have like average what you call production per hive. So we have to record the honey production also to consider that you are going at the right path or no, and you have to compare with other years, and also you have to record for honey flow. That because of climate change, honey flow also change. So you have to consider also that, and we have to prepare for that. For like you have to double the box and also the equipments like that.
Thank you. I usually want to keep record. I take my stuff for me to go and have a record, but I am always, as a female, I am always like busy as a bee. So I do my housework. I attend to I inspect and manage my hives. I usually, I'm attending also some women's group. There's a women's group in Tavuni. It's Tavuni Empowerment Women Support Group. And I thank the Australian government in Foreign Trade and Affairs in Trade. They have funded through Women's Fund recently. And it was just because I presented how beekeeping should be done in Tavuni. And from my presentation, they recognize that, yeah, the women in Tavuni should be encouraged to be having, because the demand of the honey that is in Tavuni, I cannot fulfill it. And I encourage more women to be going into the beekeeping industry. For that, there are about 6 women who are going to be they are going to be benefiting from that that women's fund, and like I am going to instruct them. I'm going to see them how they are processing until they have done. They know how to manage it, so they can then start from there, and I know it will be helpful for them.
Record keeping is very important in anything that you undertake. I keep records on queen breeding, on my daily activities, but the area that my weakest point would be the update keeping on the part of the supplies, beekeeping equipment supplies. So as much as possible, if there's any short courses offered by within the country, within our province, I make sure I have to attend, because financially record keeping I'm illiterate on record keeping, so as much as possible I tend to attend any courses that they offer on record keeping on businesses. So yeah, I'm starting to improve, so I hope all should be well as time come by. Thank you.
Another thing, I usually don't keep records. I just I don't bother keeping records. I just bother to help the other beekeepers on the island. There's a training center, Tutu Training Center, that started recently with the beekeeping. They started with 2 hives that I supplied and taught them how to manage it. So now they're having 6 hives, and there are a few other smaller beekeepers who I'm managing now.